Oh, yeah.
A great Redlion once said, and this Redlion is not here. Bless and love, my lords. Welcome to Meet the Artists with me, C. Laurie, and this extraordinaire that is Mr. Arwyn, fake Arwyn, Mr. PEPE Lions, Mr. Akabusi. Welcome.
Thanks. On introduction, thanks. It's my first ever Twitter Spaces about me. Wild. Let's do it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm glad to have you, man. It's always a pleasure to chat to you, and even more so with a few other people in the room. If anybody here wants to come and talk to us, just put your hand up, and we'll make sure that happens. Because the other day I did one of these, and it was all my voice, and I don't like that at all.
I speak a lot. Don't worry, we're going to be fine.
Sweet as. So a little bit of background for anybody who didn't catch the last space. We are running a 7-week curation at the moment with Redlion of PEPE art and PEPE artists, and me being the curator and the commentator that I am. I have found some really cool artists for you guys over the next 7 weeks. And the first one who we are currently live with, and whose art you can capture via a free mint right now at gazette.red, is Mr. Arwyn, who created for me / for Redlion / for PEPE and Chris Akabusi, who is an absolute legend who we'll talk more about in a minute. But yeah, Arwyn created this piece of artwork that you were just hearing at the beginning of that space there. Not the Notorious B.I.G. song, but the second one we played was a little mix, just to sort of show you what Arwyn's capable of. Only a minute of music, when I'm sure he would prefer 3 to 4 hours of a set. But there's a lot of exciting things happening right now, and I'm pretty keen to talk to you about what is going on below or underneath the hood, Arwyn.
I'm actually DJing for a couple of hours tonight, so if anyone's in southern Mexico, get down on. It's going to be going crazy. But yeah, we're not here to talk about that. Yeah, sure. I'm super happy to be here. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun, especially the last few months. So I don't know what you want me to say. You asked me. I don't know how this works. You do the Parkinson thing, and I'll do the drunk.
Neither do I, mate. I actually don't know how this works either, because I haven't done one of these, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just ran my French coffee press, or whatever you call those things, and filled up about 2 liters of coffee and thought, okay, let's see how this goes. Essentially, though, my journey through this exhibition has been to talk to people like you who are very, very familiar with XCP, and talking to people on other networks who are not so familiar but very familiar with PEPE. And I'm just here to try and bring all these things together. And I think you've got some things happening on Ethereum as well as XCP now, don't you?
Yeah. We got. I try and stay on all. I don't want to say like I believe in Bitcoin as a community. You know, that's what I've found. I don't like technicals, and all that stuff are of course important. And I would prefer it if Bitcoin was more successful, say for example, than other more centralized chains in a way. But at the same time, we're here as artists, and so like you say, the challenges really are getting your art out there and the messages, and sort of bringing everybody together and being the chain. That's kind of like my ethos on this. So like I do have stuff on loads of chains actually. I try not to do stuff on chains I really don't like. I don't have anything on Sol and stuff, but generally speaking, I'm down. You know, like I feel bad for Shaq. We should talk about Shaq another day maybe. And yeah, like at the moment we do. Shaquille O'Neal, he's a legend, yeah, but he's on Sol and makes me sad. Anyway,
oh no,
Akabusi would never be on Sol, bro. You see what I mean? I can't allow that. Please don't put Akabusi memes on Sol.
I was actually quite excited about Matic when I first heard about it, but more recently, all I've seen is scammy NFTs in my wallet that have appeared and then been hidden, and sometimes they don't get hidden. And it's real shady stuff that happens on Matic, I think.
I think it happens on ETH. You should see my wallet as well. But like, also, I don't think we should write off. I'm pretty bullish. I'm interested in technology. So if we're here to talk about technology, like there's ZK sharding and the sort of holochain implementation that's coming on Polygon over the next few months will be game changer. Yeah, these things are full of crap. But so that's what I mean. That's why we have the community. It's actually an interesting point because So, for example, fake products. We live in a world of fake. So I did a project with PEPE, and it's like, it was a CCO thing and all that kind of vibes. And the question is, how does it play out? What's the community? So it's like if someone comes and does a derivative, what's the difference between a derivative and a rip-off? What's a fake and a counterfeit, that sort of thing. And it's like the community can decide that amongst each other. Everybody knows it's like, it's hilarious. We have a little joke with the Floonies. I should talk about Flooney Bin a lot because I'm a big fan of that project. But like, our friend Burry's like, come up with a thing, ask people at random, do you want to do a Flooney Bin? But like when people come into a Telegram group from outside within the XCP community and start asking like certain questions, like, oh, how can I get a job as a designer? I've got this experience or whatever it is. It's kind of hilarious. And it's nice to do these Twitter spaces because you get to talk about it. But, that's the point of, even though it's kind of weird within Telegram, like you can feel everybody sort of the silent laughing. It's not laughing. It's not laughing, but also it's laughing in a good way. It's like, that's the community. It's sort of, what I mean to say is it automatically sort of helps to guard against bad actors. And that's the point. So it doesn't, as long as you've got that teamwork of people like cryptos to replace trust when trust is not there already, but like not to replace trust from between people, because that unique personal identification relationship is hard to fake. Although it does happen in every world, to be honest.
Yeah, there's always people that you got to watch out for, isn't there? And you have to assume the best of people until you know the worst. I guess you've got to give them a chance, and when you give the XCP community a chance, it sort of doesn't really let you down, which is really cool because there is a lot of other projects and communities that are probably not as, I would say, there in terms of computer science, there's a lot of brain power in XCP as well as everything else, and the knowledge that sort of sits there is where the value lies. So when you get into those communities and you start talking to those people, you start to gain knowledge and gain value in a different kind of sense. Like obviously the token is the art and the art is the utility, but for me the utility is very much the community. That's what drives the value of the projects overall, is how many people have adopted it and how many people are here to stay. And I think we can tell with some of the communities that you and I are both in that people are there to stay. Like it's not a flash in the pan type thing.
Yeah, honestly, it's weird. I totally agree. And there's a sliding scale of hilarity about the token is the art and all that. Like ultimately, we are the token, I guess, like you say. And I just echo your sentiment. Really, it's a truth. It's a true thing. It's a measurable cultural phenomenon. But we're all living it, and works for me. I'm not an NFT artist. I've been making memes since before PEPE. I saw some memes I used to make like recently on an old hard drive from like very long time ago. I just didn't. I knew about NFTs. I'm interested in tech and DeFi. I just didn't want to be an NFT artist. But then I found a place with XCP to just, because I was already an artist effectively, but just sort of find friends. So it's like we use the token as a medium of communication and sort of almost identification, but like mostly because it's the fact it's kind of cronky and a bit weird and a bit sort of not as flash as the more Ethereum facing products. It's sort of, you get a certain, it's like anything. It's the meme of itself, the archetype of free wallet attract. It's, I'm not going to explain all of that stuff. People in the room already know. So I'm just chilling. I'm just happy to be here.
Discussing with someone recently, I can't remember who, but XCP and the Bitcoin network is kind of like a database rather than a blockchain, in the sense that you create an asset, create your JSON file, and then link that to the transaction. And technically the file is actually separate from the blockchain, hosted on IPFS and just connected by you. But when you're using ETH, you don't get that same experience. You basically upload your file and mint your asset all in one foul swoop, and it feels like the asset is actually on the blockchain. But I think the way that ETH works, it probably is still hosted off via IPFS. It's just hidden away a little bit. Like when you're using XCP, it's very basic, and you understand like how it works from a database directory type of point of view, I guess. But
I definitely think it's more fun. It's more fun, basically, on XCP, and it does illustrate those points. Like I think that all this Redlion community, everything about that, I think we accept that. It's a metaphor. These tokens are a metaphor. It's not really where everything is fake, right? It's like people go, oh yeah, everything's fake, but if you know that, like we are doing it, we're using that as a medium. It's like money. It doesn't actually exist. Even the tokens, the art, yeah, but you can change a lot of the information about the token. You can change the art, you can change the owner, you can change lots of crazy shit. And the same on Ethereum. And as those technologies advance, like we need to be here and we need to be implementing those technologies like non-transferable tokens and this kind of thing as accounts evolve. And then you've got all the problems about I forget the name now because I'm not doing it, but like mitigation of account management, how to stop Sybil attacks and stuff, this kind of thing. And in the meantime, now we all know about that. Let's just make frog memes and do other stuff and talk about Chris Akabusi because we all know all this stuff and we're just all here to have a laugh. Basically, that's the way I see it.
We're just all figuring it out at the same time, and I think the joy just comes from sort of enjoying people's art and being inspired by their art. I know there are a couple of projects like Mikaboshi, which we're a part of, that once it has come about, there have been a lot of artists who are perhaps getting a bit tired of drawing frogs, dare I say it, and are losing some of that spark. And a new project comes along and all of a sudden there's all these new ideas and things that are possible, and it starts to build slowly into something more. So
no, I'm not. Just for the record, I'm definitely not tired of drawing frogs. I only want to draw frogs, actually. But like, I don't want to sell Pepe. I did I did a piece called "Steal from the Pepe," which was one of my first Mikaboshi assets, and I stole that blatantly as well. Everybody should, But like, the point is, it was a joke. It's like I don't really want it. Like, Pepe is for love. Like, life is life. You got to work. I'm an artist, and I love to have Pepe in my work, but I feel that I feel guided. I'm literally supported. I'm a full-time artist who's effectively supported by the Pepe and the associated chaotic gods that go with that. And so I'm happy to take that meme culture into Mikaboshi and stuff, but I don't want Mikaboshi. Like, it's not cool, man. Don't sell Pepe. Worship Pepe. Sell Mikaboshi if you want, or Akabusi. But like, I'm interested in making memes. It's like I'm happy that I can be part of an organization that like allow for me to keep doing what I'm doing, but like I have, first and foremost, I love Pepe, he's a savior, and but like, just not to mix it. That's why the Pepe unicorn, the Akabusi, all these things are my own sort of interpretations of like the mimetic force that inspire me, rather than just calling it, going, oh, like, I'm Liverpool because I'm the best or whatever. It's like, it's not really, I'm not lecturing. I'm asking questions for myself and then just kind of inviting other people to like explore them with me as we all figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. You said before that money is fake, and I think we all know this at this point in time. Everything, like you say, everything is fake to the extent that it was all created in a sense. It was all. I mean, even the names of our countries, for instance, like New Zealand, my country was not always New Zealand. Before that, it was Aotearoa, and before that, it was probably something else. But it's all been made up over time, and now we essentially have the opportunity here to make things up that people will believe in future. And whether it's fake or real, we don't even care, we're just playing with it. But one of my favorite things to highlight to people, and I'll just mention it now in the space, is the word currency. The etymology and the definition of that word is the condition of flowing, and it refers to things that are running. So the carere or career, which in Latin means to run, and it is the notion of the state of fact of flowing from person to person, led to the senses continuity in public knowledge, and that which is current as a medium of exchange, money. So basically, currency before money was the flow of knowledge, and memes after money is the flow of knowledge, I believe. So we're heading back to where we came from.
Yeah, cool. I think that memes should be like basically positive sum economy is what we need. So you can do it on anything, but like, why not do memes? It's basically that. It's that simple. I'm not here to I'm just doing. That's why a lot of the stuff I do is kind of through the looking glass, because we're all living our own illusion. It's but there's also like what we all consider on our own to be a group narrative illusion, and it's sort of, to an extent, it sort of semi-exists, so you can sort of dive in and out of it and play with those ideas and illustrate. Like, it's always, for example, if you go on Chat AI, it's like, I'm going to do this thing, and they're like, oh no, you can't do that, it's extremely unethical. Not that it ever says that to me, but I could imagine it might say that to somebody. And then you say, oh, it's okay because I'm in an alternative world. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, bro. And it's like the ability for the AI to just accept that as well is quite hilarious to me. But yeah, it's all like, it's not what it is. We don't know what it is. So just make metaphors of what I think it is. And then it's strange because we can talk about this with Akabusi, with Orange, DC6, C16, which I would like to talk about. But you start doing these things for quote unquote no reason. And then the reasons that you find reasons. So whether those reasons are already apparent and the universe is waiting for you to discover them, or whether you're finding reason where it wasn't previously there. Either one of those I'm okay with, so it's like that process of digging. Like I found out so much about Orange, and even though I started doing it as a joke to troll Carsonated, but not troll, but like play along with Carsonated, then I started looking in Orange, and I didn't even think about Bitcoin as a color of orange. I swear I didn't. It's hilarious for ages. And then like Subterranean said to me, like, how about Orange? I'm like, oh fucking hell! I looked around, like if I had a camera now, like my light is orange, my sofa's orange, my walls are orange, my speaker's orange. Fucking, there's so much orange around me. I live in Mexico. It's like orange central, and it's just osmosis. It's like, to what degree of Montauk Institute have I been like presupposed to like go on an investigation of orange, man? It's fucking trippy as fuck. But there's loads in there. And I just started writing about color theory for Meme Inquirer today. And I realized I've got like 5 blogs. It got to go 5 blogs deep before I even get to be able to talk about orange. So there's a whole exploration of color theory and what we think colors are. And of course, it always leads back to like the quantum observer, like who are you in the first place? And you're like, oh shit, I'm back here again. Well,
chicken and the egg, man. Chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
It's funny. In terms of memes, I think we can sit back and quietly participate in society. Nobody knows what we're doing or understands or cares, but what we're doing, I think, is quite important. And what we are doing is opening the door to free speech. We're actually creating chat rooms where people don't cut each other down or sort of cancel each other or exhibit any of that sort of woke culture. We are very woke in the sense that we're aware of everything that's happening in the world because we're communicating with people from all different places, but we're not doing it in any sort of negative manner. And then I sort of find myself in the comments on YouTube or Instagram or somewhere else sometimes talking to people, and they'll come back to me like, you're crazy, man. Your version of reality is so fake and you have no idea what's going on. And I kind of go back to them saying, yeah, I know. It's all right. Let me be. Like, I'm not here to cause a scene. I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to make memes,
Yeah, I was thinking about this in the bear market a little bit. It's like about Twitter being an echo chamber, and I agree with you. But like, I think it's choose your illusion rather than me being right or woke. I don't think I'm definitely on my own weird shit. If I'm the one who's right, we're all fucking. It's wild, I accept.
I would say you're woke in the sense your pineal gland is open. You're seeing
well, whatever. It is what
clearly.
it is. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that gesture. But like, I think it's about choose your audience. For example, it's like I could go on to it. We've all probably been through various stages of awakening when we find this or that out. We want to go and shout from the rooftops, and we're telling people in the pub and on Facebook, and people are like basically ostracizing you or going, that guy's mad, or maybe we've all seen that happen. But here, like for example, if I look at the people in this chat right now, I'm like, that's my fucking. They're the people I want to speak to, and it's like means more to speak to 10 people who actually cannot understand a single word I'm saying, even if I do, than it does to speak. You can't tell anybody. It's like we're just resonating off each other, and these echo chambers, as some people call them in negative times, are actually great ways to sort of funnel out, the noise basically. And I think that's what, again, with XCP, and even within XCP, there's layers of different things going on within XCP, and it's wild. Like the more you zoom in, and I suppose it's a bit like that article on the color theory. I want to write a blog on color theory or on Mansa Musa or like esoteric phenomena. And as you start doing it, you realize that every single chapter is a whole 10,000 word blog in itself. It's like if the movie is good, you can make a movie out of the first scene of any movie. There's always ability to scale in. So in a situation like this, we get to be with people. Like, for example, if I want to talk about sacred geometry, like on a blog or anything, I don't want to start with like, oh, have you heard of Euclid? And all that. I want to go like, right, should we get straight to the good shit? Yeah, but it's like, can't do that if everybody's not primed to a certain level. And I think that mimetically, I think that's what XCP is the sort of Illuminati of mimetic underground knowledge, basically. you know. And it's like, and the proof is that everyone's just sat here like frogs, not even trying to play. We're just sat around the pond throwing crazy weird memes at each other, you know. And it's like there's people in here literally all of some of the best demographic of art. It's not just on XCP, but going like audio visual, generative, stylish, fucking literally like fucking real life art, you know, technical art. It's quite wild, you know. And that's so my inspiration is just being here and sort of feeding off everybody else, and basically make floonies and go on Kaleidoscope. That's basically my ethos.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Kaleidoscope, and you talked about DC6 before, which is a project that revolves around the color orange. I would suggest that Mikaboshi is a project that revolves around the color red, and I quite like the idea that we're heading towards red, orange, yellow, green, blue, sort of through the rainbow, as it were. And Kaleidoscope itself is a project that embraces the color of the rainbow or colors of the rainbow and the beauty of different color contrasting against other colors and lots of sort of shiny kaleidoscope type ideas, which is really cool. I love that project. There are so many cool projects on XCP. There's obviously Pinata and Kaleidoscope and Fake Rares and a bunch of other ones. And there's a project, I think there's a tab on counterparty.io that will tell you all about all the other projects. But like you say, it's like the XCP is kind of the all-seeing eye in this scenario where there is all these other things happening on all these other chains. But at some point, people need to come back to the middle and have a look around, I'd say.
You know what? You invited me to say something awesome. I didn't even plan it, but serendipitously, one of my favorite assets I've ever made has just been released right now, like an hour ago, on Dankset and Dankrares, sorry. And I was like, and I submitted it ages and ages ago. I've been sat on it and I didn't message him, and I'm like, I love the piece, and Danks is really, for me, is also a super magical place where you should totally check it out. But I have a habit of subbing my stuff on Kaleidoscope as a matter of principle, first and foremost, for various different reasons, but mostly I just love it. So I'd submitted it to Danks, and so sometimes people don't necessarily always naturally like it when you like submit to multiple collections. But ethically and as an artist, I'm super keen. Like I would like to see Boo's got one which is on like 5 different collections. I don't even can't even remember what it is, yeah, but it's like super good. That's like we're talking about scarcity and the token is the art and all that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm a big fan of Danks, and I got one. It's called PEPE Sabina. I don't even have a dispenser for it, to be honest. I don't even know what I want to do it, but I'm really interested in the story of Maria Sabina, and I actually did it the token well before I thought I was going to have a meme inquirer, and now I do. I've got a great place to talk about Maria Sabina, and the reason I submitted the Danks, I should say that as well because it's interesting. It's like every card's got its place in my kind of mind. Is that there's always something else to the story. Like in a way, I could, you know, like I don't know if Maria Sabina is a popular topic in the Western world outside of Mexico because I live here now, but it's an amazing story, and that's what it's about, right? Drawing people to the meme. But even the meme of Maria Sabina, which people consciously accepted to be, in my opinion, is possibly not the meme, and there's another meme beneath the meme, which is the real meme that needs investigation. So well, I don't care if you fucking buy it or not, yeah. But like, if you want one, and if you're interested in Maria Sabina, then you can DM me, and I will send you one today on XCP, and it's on Danks. So check it out because it's one of my favorites. But it just goes to show that like everything's got a little place. So like you're right, a Kaleidoscope. It's not a joke. It's like someone knew something, you know, that it's very open. Anyone can put something on Kaleidoscope. And then you've got all your different genres of collections that have all got their bells and whistles. And now we got Boshi, Rare Boshi. It's going to be massive or not. Which is just...
You know, all of this makes no sense to all of these people that have jumped over from ETH. They're
Well,
all like, what the hell are these two guys talking about? But that's the whole point of this conversation, I would say.
It doesn't make, it's not supposed to make sense. It does this, look, there's sense in everything and nothing. I'm sure someone wiser than me said something about that. But yeah, we just be a bit zany and figure it out, like, it's all in the subtext. Even the blog, even Meme Inquirer, it's about the subtext. It's kind of written in quite a almost generic, overly informative like way, because I'm not allowed to say the things that I want to say on the blog, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get it shared. Do you know what I mean? So I just ask questions, and then everyone else can do their own homework.
speaking of things you are allowed to say, what can you tell me about Chris Akabusi, the star
Like,
of Chris Awugabusi?
yeah, honestly, I think the main thing is that his name vaguely reminded me of Mikaboshi. That was how it started, yeah, without any thought about it. But the point about a meme is if it's powerful, yeah, it strikes you, you know. And it was just Zanny, like we weren't doing anything. It was just me, like Indelible, Nathan, just fucking around, carcinated. And I don't know, I just said it. And then I think it was Indel just came up straight away with a sticker or something like that with Mikabushi held in his gold medal, but with the Mikabushi logo in it. Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, everyone was just putting up mad stickers, just like, and we're doing stuff with the orange. It was, I don't know, it just was like it happened. And then the Awuga thing is a whole conversation in itself, which draws upon kind of a lot of what I think are really the powerful memes. And I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg, but retrospectively, there is a conversation there about parallels between Dorian Nakamoto and Satoshi Nakamoto and stuff like that, because the enigmatic use of the word awuga has been attributed to various different people, you know, and it's kind of like a meme, and it's a mini meme amongst all the other stuff, which is to assert everybody to say Chris Akabusi is a Wooga, but it's actually not. It's somebody else. And that's okay. Also, Chris Akabusi was just a runner, basically a runner, but also a very larger than life character of UK 80s culture. And then he went on to do stuff like Record Breakers. He's just really earnest in a world of like not that great moral times to look back on. And even if, but I don't know Chris Agabusi, but he was a cult hero. And so people made sex stories about him that went around as text messages that facilitated the word awooga at the end. And so it just, I hadn't even put all the stuff together, like, but it was pointed out to me later that in fact it wasn't Chris Akabusi who said awooga, but that's the point. That's what we do. It's memes, you know. We do memes. So I don't want awooga to be Chris Akabusi's for long. You know, we need to bring it to the table. But just saying things like for fun is a laugh, you know, and that should be Mikaboshi. You know, it's like it's the community responsible, and I think awooga is really just the start. I think the ability to what's Mikaboshi going to do? You know, is it just going to sit around and go Mikaboshi? It's going to end up like fucking like their minions. Do you know what I mean? But like there's people pushing different buttons, and as it all comes together,
that sort of.
It's okay, but like at the beginning, we had nothing, right? We just had not nothing. They had like this great Japanese folklore that was all written in LinkedIn, and it was super cool, yeah. But like, I'm not that guy, bro. I just wanted. I'm like, somebody says to me, do that. I'm gonna do something else. Like when I did the Reboshi thing the other day, I made a small group, and I'm like, okay, listen, I'd love to make some things, a homage to Rare Pepe, kind of like Shadowlay, like another universe, like I said, you know, kind of like thanks. I was like, just like, let's keep it on things that are really good. Don't be going to do Noel Edmonds or anything like that. And then fucking Reagan comes in 2 minutes later with his Noel Edmonds Pepe, you know, and it's it's dope as well. I was like, got nothing to say really. It's like the wheels are off. That's what XCP is about. Anyone can take an idea and run with it. Like I could take Mikaboshi. People say, "Oh, you can't do Boshi Cash. You're interfering with the thing and all the thing." But everyone's like, "Nah, fuck it. Let's do Boshi Cash. Yeah, we'll do all the thing." That's the enthusiasm that we need when we're going to go to the dollar, bro. Because like I was there for a long time at Doge in like 2018, which is actually after really the peak of Doge. But I was at DogeCon and I've seen those communities work, and I've worked in DAOs, and like this community generally is so well set, and it's like, but to an extent, like I also don't want to do it. I also like XCP, and I don't really want to go off and be too successful. Thanks. So I'm kind of okay like with my boshiness on XCP, and I just hope that this to keep growing this community and bring attention to these other artists who, frankly, are leaps and bounds ahead of me. So we're like, meet the artists, but if you want to really meet the artists, you want to go through this group and follow all the people in the chat, because that's the real meet the artists.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with Mikaboshi, it's quite interesting because it's happening on XCP and on ETH at the same time, which is quite unusual for most projects. But it's almost like there are layers of rarity and dankness embedded within that community, and we know how sort of fake rares worked and works, and we know how a lot of other projects are working, and there's a lot of pre-existing expertise in terms of how to run a project. But at the same time, you've got 12 different developers all creating different tools that are sort of based around different coins that are based around the initial network, and all of a sudden it's kind of starting to, it's like a bee's nest and somebody kicked it and all the bees are just flying haywire all of a sudden. But it's quite fun to watch because it's almost like we're competing against ourselves more than competing against anybody else in this meta world.
Yeah, that's why I really want to make it more like Monopoly on XCP. And one of the reasons I've made this Rose Boshi Cash and a couple of others is I want to kind of unite all the coins together and get more use on the decks, because we've got a lot of tokens. Nathan's here. I wish you could tell me. I've been trying to find out, but like he sent me a coin a while ago, like a Japanese coin, and there's like a load of other coins, like there's Keko, for example, and there's Andres, there's Fake Ape Cash, there's Bitrock, there's all these sorts of things that have like come out over the years through XCP. And one of the things I noticed about the decks is we've all got our prices on the free wallet now, and it looks good, yeah. But like you might go and you'll probably find there's not much buy pressure on the other side, It's like
yeah, for sure.
That. But like, there's no reason why, with a little bit of organization and work between each other, we can't have like, for example, I don't think there's like a Dank Meme Cash to Pepe Cash pool, right? Except, right, that even Dank Meme Cash and Pepe Cash are like serious tokens, if you want, yeah, with like serious economy. I'm not really trying to talk to that. That's why I've done my own. But if we can just get loads of our own tokens, we can have buy and sell liquidity. So, for example, I'm going to try and make some deals where I can give out like a big bunch of the I'm going to airdrop all the Dank Rose Cash. But I would love to see it like incentivize people to all have coins, basically, and then we can just get the decks active, buy and sell pressure on both times, and then we can physically play Monopoly on the decks. At the moment, it's like not quite enough volume, but like people are going to come, yeah, and believe me, when they come, you want to be playing. And if we can like implement some sort of bridge between like this with the Boshi Cash and get some sort of NFT liquidity trading across a network pool. Yeah, when all these people do come, when Mikaboshi's $1, yeah, it's like the functionality of the XCP network and others like the Doge chain network. I'm really bullish on Uno. In fact, I'm trying to get NFTs on Uno today. If anyone's got any Uno, please send me them. I don't know if they know about Unobtainium. That's another network coming up on similar to XCP. Check that out. Anyway, I'm talking a lot.
If anybody has any Uno. Sorry, Matt. I don't know if anybody else is on that, but if they are, put their hand up and come and join us in the chat because Nathan would.
He might not. Nobody's got it yet.
Yeah, what's really cool though about memes, about Chris Akabusi and about this Pepe art that you've created for Redlion is one, the idea that like you are memeing something that is a positive role model and good for kids and good. Like I have a lot of people sort of ask me like, oh, but like, what about kids using crypto? Like, is that okay? And I'm kind of like, well, when they're old enough to understand how to use it, I think they're old enough to use it. It's kind of a situation where, I mean, we talk about what age can kids drink, what age can they vote, what age can they do this and that. If we create a network full of positive information based around good central figures like Chris Akabusi, and we put on display the best of the best, essentially, we meme them into some sort of existence that they aren't currently in. And Chris Akabusi, I'm sure, will at some point learn about the fact that his name and his image has been used by a frothing community deep within the corner of the internet.
But like,
he might sue you, but he might just become one of your best friends. Like, we don't know, but we're willing to take the risk.
I frankly don't care. It's not about Chris Akabusi. This is about Chris Mikabusi. Yeah, it's like the meme version of. It's like Hunter S. Thompson is not. It's not really Hunter. He said it a lot. You should look. I mean, that's my avatar, but that's another reason for making that. It's like one of his main things is like. Well, let's say Karl Marx allegedly said on his deathbed, I'll tell you one thing, I'm no Marxist. It's like the ideas of who people think you are get blown up well beyond the proportion of your actual persona, that you end up in a very different position, not necessarily difficult, but you're managing different things. I think that's important as well.
I mean, for sure. If you asked me 2 years ago.
What I want to say about the kids is kids using crypto is that's what I think is the very point, and it's what I will be instilling is this is how you use crypto if you're a kid, yeah? You only have enough Bitcoin to make tokens, and then you just make the whole point of the token is the art, we're the token, artists come and go, token lasts forever. Yeah, artists come and go, but while you're the artist, we should. There's no reason for kids to be buying and trading Bitcoin. Kids need a little bit of Bitcoin and just make. We are making the money, and the point about what I said about a positive sum economy is that we are the value, we are doing it. So it's like if I make a token, that's me. My energy's gone into that token. That's the value, you know. So it's like every kid should be making their own tokens, making their own art, and then making NFTs. It's like that's, and then look back and tell me that. Let's talk about that in 20 years or 10 years, you know. But like that's what I would suggest is like trading. Why the same with Boshi Cash, the same with this. Why are we do you think even if Bitcoin goes to 120,000 or 1 million, is that enough? You know, you've 10x or something like that. It's like, why are you trying to? Why are we're still trying to fill other people's pockets? Like ultimately, like ETH is flawed, Bitcoin is flawed. They're all flawed, bro. It's like, and it's like it's not that we shouldn't believe anybody who's selling us stuff, you know. But it doesn't mean we can't seize the means of production and like use it for ourselves. We are the banks. That's what it means. You can be the bank. They always say DeFi. It's like, and we can be the bank, the money, the treasurer, the economy, and we all get to have each other's tokens. I think what this has proven over the last few years in XCP is like people would much rather have that frog JPEGs than fucking financial JPEGs from the government. Like, quite frankly, it's like people love collecting each other's shit. We are kleptomaniacs as a nation. It's like, let's take this energy and put it in an artistic way. That's what capturing value as art, as humanity means for me. Anyway, and that's why I do this.
Definitely. I think you said before, like the thing about marks, you don't really know who someone is. I mean, if you'd asked me a couple of years ago who I was, I would have given you a completely different answer than who I am now. And in 2 years' time, I'll give you another different answer, sort of thing, where we're constantly evolving. And if we're not evolving, then what are we doing? And that's the beauty of PEPE, is he's an amphibian and he evolves from one level to the next. So he teaches us, and so does a butterfly, which is a beautiful thing to see any day of the week. But it's all about sort of growing and learning together. And I also heard something in a space, I think with a couple of friends, Airship, a dude called Airship. If you don't follow him on Twitter, maybe go give him a follow. He's a good dude to follow. He's always got something good to say. And KT Majee, I think, were the two people hosting the space. And somebody said in that space, when you buy art, you're actually buying a fraction of that person's soul. And it resonated with me because in doing this and collecting art from all these different people, we are collecting a part of one another. Essentially, we are more than connecting ourselves via blockchain. We are like spiritually, in a way, connecting ourselves to other people, which is really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's so true and so timely. Actually, it's funny because I see Vandal in the audience, yeah, and I sold some stuff on ETH the other day. I released whatever it was, and I sold something, and I was like, oh, I got a bit of money, and then Vandal released like 3 or 4 bits over the last few days. I'm like, holy shit, I got the money. I'm in, well, 3 minutes, yeah. But it's like, the thing is just like, oh man, sometimes you see stuff like actually CP's here, and he had one out the other day, and I missed it. It was so good, like a deconstructed Pepe thing. But it's just like timely. But yeah, it's I want to. I'm a customer first, basically. Like I love all these guys. It's like I love collecting. Like Nathan did me like a 101 Chris Akabusi. He's got, I don't know if how secret it is, but he's got this thing, yeah, where you can do things. And he did this Chris Akabusi picture. And it's just like there's people doing the most insane things, like not like, oh, I'm just going to paint a picture, bro. It's like I don't know how to talk about that, but there's really amazing. Everyone's doing really amazing stuff. Like there's nobody here who's not. It's fucking insane, to be honest with you. Big up yourselves, fam.
Yeah, definitely. There is the fun of the game, I think, is like the fun of the trading game is being able to identify what is likely to be valuable in future. And at the end of the day, you don't know, but there are some people who, like Natasha Moon, just dropped a hodl drop, which is a reward for the hodlers of the hodl pet, which is another project on XCP, which I think we both love. And she just dropped this hodl precious, which is I'll link it in the comments, but it's an incredible asset. She's painted this thing with watercolor paints and then uploaded it to XCP, and it tells a story. You know, it's an incredible piece of art, and you see some things and you think, god damn, this could be sitting in a gallery anywhere in the world and it would look good, you know. And these are some incredible artists that we have found ourselves in communication with, and some of them are being a bit more weird, like yourself. Your ETH name is keepitweird.eth, so it's part of your persona is to make things fun and interesting and never leave it too clear for anyone to understand. They have to dig deeper in order to find the answers, which is quite fun. And then you've got other people who are like PE Sharp and Hafka, who are both well-established artists in real life who have pivoted into the world of NFTs, and it's incredible to see sort of artists coming from everywhere, because I don't know, artists appreciate other artists in a way that nobody else in the world quite will ever understand, I suppose. But as we continue to appreciate each other, I think we will all appreciate in terms of this sort of social credit system that we're building, I guess.
You know, it's like Monty Python. It's like in England, anyway, but I think it's English. Oh, well, I'm not English, I'm whatever, but like British humor, yeah. And it's like architects' jokes and accountants' jokes. It's like in jokes. The most, it's like, it's some, I mean, look, memes are great and funny and not boring, yeah. But like, if you're an accountant, right, like, or a mathematician or physician, yeah, like, I love those jokes so hard because it's like, you know, they're just for you, basically. They're share, and that means more. And that, I think about talk about scarcity. Like, I'm not really all about scarcity in a sort of, I'm about abundance, right? But like, obviously there's an element of scarcity which represents value. But like that, I think that is a nice metaphoric way to look at it, is like a good in joke, you know, and that's like Awuga, Akabusi, it's like whatever. I'll tell you another thing about it is it's true, yeah. And like, I could talk about Nathan again, but he said to me the other day, that he's a runner, right? It's doxing him, yeah. And he was, he said he's listening to this Chris Akabusi thing, and he found out about this guy called Mike or whatever. He was Chris Akabusi's running coach, and I'd said to Chris Akabusi, right, basically, if you want to run fast, yeah, you got to run fast, right? That was the fucking meme, yeah. And you know, it's fucking the truest things though. And so anyway, Nathan went out. I think I'm saying this right. Anyway, went out either with an audio book of Chris Akabusi's autobiography, or just having listened to this quote, and ran faster with that in his head. Yeah. And it's like, that is basically it. And people go, oh yeah, it's like all things that are magic sound like kind of, oh, really? That's it. When you like tell people that, and then you try it, and you're like, oh. So memes are real. I don't know what Awuga's doing, but I'm hoping that it's doing something. You know, it's just giving us something to say, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, all we're trying to do is start a more wide and open conversation about whatever people want to talk about, and it doesn't need to be the things that we always used to talk about before the world of Web3. It can be other more creative, twisted, weird, unique types of things. You know, we can talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about, and at some point it links back to reality, but not always.
I'd definitely like to get off chain a lot more. Like, for example, James in the audience does some amazing like installations or like video projection, all sorts of things like that. And I think incorporating that, I think hopefully in this next more positive time of crypto and DeFi, we'll have a lot more facility and opportunity to do more real life stuff. And like I say, if we can do this with JPEGs, I'd love to see like what we could do as a community. If someone said, you know, like if all of the people in this room got together for like a live installation project or like some kind of creative venture, that's what I'd like to see in the future, is like more opportunity to do like genuinely like wild group collaboration stuff on a bigger scale. That's one of the main things. And I think that we're much more focused to that. I think like same with PEPE as we're building, we're not trying to sell like it's a different thing. It's not a media, it's art, it's just art basically. I'm not going to get into the ethics of that, but I want to do what I want to do, and it's important for me to make these. So I want fucking Stone Circle, I want PEPE to buy their own Stone Circle, reactivate it, working, get the hell show, invite people to come and experience it, like Field of Dreams style. And the same with DC6, E16. The main concept of that is to have a physical space where people can come and examine color. You know, because everyone thinks it's like money. People think, oh, when you get into crypto, you're like, oh, money works like that. I never knew, you know, and it's like color works like that. You thought money was interesting? Whoa, like you'll basically can have like a pretty profound experience by contemplating color and your role in what you think it is. It gets pretty weird quite quickly, but you need to experience it. You can't just read it on a blog. You need to feel it and have it like a tactile museum. I think XCP needs its own museum generally.
Oh yeah, it'll get there. I have every intention this year of opening up a gallery in New Zealand and exhibiting some artwork from different people around the world. And the idea is to get those people who are being exhibited to jump on a call and meet the people who are about to see their art, and then slowly art galleries grow into art museums, I guess, in some sense. And we're just getting started, right? Like this is so early. Everybody who's in here right now is in a privileged position, and we have the opportunity to build the future the way we want the future to look in a way. We obviously can only do our little piece. We can't do everything, but if every one of us decides to do a little piece and we all get aligned on what the goal is overall, then we can accomplish an incredible amount, I think. But you talk about color. I think you'd be familiar with ACK, who is one of the other one of one Redlion artists. I don't know if anybody who's in this audience would know this, but Arwyn and Oliver Morris together, it is Oliver Morris, right? That's his last name.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they created one of the one of one Redlions, and Redlions were probably my first NFT collection, my first profile picture collection for sure. The pixel art and the idea of being from another world resonated with me, so I got into that project, and then I heard about these 16 different artists who created one of ones, but ACK being one of them, a French kid who is incredible with his glitch art, did a thing called the color study, and in the color study he basically created 10 different assets that were all the same image or the same GIF, but with different colors. And the idea was to see, I guess, who was going to purchase what color was going to catch people's eye more than any other color. And that gives you a bit of data that you wouldn't otherwise have, because we don't test things like that in the real world. We only test things like that in this new world that we are contributing towards. So it's quite interesting to see what color can do, and to watch this DC6 pick up, and to see everybody seeing red. I see Viva La Vandal has his seeing red eyes on, and so does Pork Chop. So you can tell a few people who are in the Mikaboshi based on that little red stripe across the eyes. It's quite a key identifier. And we saw before that the laser eyes for all the Bitcoin guys on Twitter. They were all lighting up, and they were never going to remove those laser eyes apparently, but I'm sure a few of them have now, because there's just something else to look forward to and something else to sort of adopt in future anyway. But it's all about creating new ideas.
It's interesting, memetically speaking. I just nearly finished this article, as I said, but I noticed that, of course, orange, purple, and green, yeah, are the three secondary level colors, yeah, from a certain perspective. It's interesting. You've got like these colors, but it always seems like orange, purple, and green are the colors, for me, like they kind of really represent everything that I'm about, and people do resonate, different energies, auras. Aura pictures, man, I'd love to see aura pictures on NFTs, bro. That'd be dope. I don't even know if they're real, but I just love them. I haven't looked into it, but yeah,
well,
like
some people can see them, so I'd say they're real.
Yeah, well, I mean, whether I'm not saying I've seen some crazy shit, like, but also music, like I play techno. I'm playing techno tonight, but I'm a junglist really, and it's like I genuinely, as I get older and more cynical, I probably think that like jungle is like medicine, and like techno probably kills, or is at least responsible for some crazy, not that, I mean, you can change it, make everything like how you want to make it positive, yeah, but like intentionally, like the rhythm of jungle, basically, I just think is like a medicine, but it is for me, so I'm not going to say like some people may hate jungle, so probably not, like Guantanamo Bay is a real thing, but like I'm a junglist, I know that, and
what is jungle?
Drum and bass, I should say, like as a music genre, okay. It's like it's a genre of music, but it's more than that, and it's like Pepe. I've done a junglist Pepe, one of my cards, and I'm hesitant to expand it because I can see where that's going, and I don't want to sell Pepe. I don't want to sell Bitcoin via Pepe to junglist. But junglists are Bitcoin. They are XCP. Look, everyone knows that. It's like it's self-evident, and it's like this is like archetypal search filtering. This XCP. That's what I mean. It's like you go through all these filters. It's like guess who, and at the end you've got like, who's left? I've only got the crazy underground junglist artist hackers left, and you're like, sweet, I'll stay here. Basically,
it's the end of the chain, man. Once you get back to the XCP community, it doesn't really go much further, because these guys who are on XCP have been there since Bitcoin originated. Really, like they were there not long afterwards, trying to create.
If there's another culture under this
projects.
I want to know what it is. Please tell me what it is. Yeah, this is basically basement level degeneration.
Speaking of, and you mentioned DNB, I know Viva's a DNB guy. I've been doing some research on him recently, but Basement, you said, is another one of those projects that I think is due to fly this year. There's a lot of musicians that are making XCP art as well, and I myself, I'm a bit of a drummer, I guess, of any different instrument. That's the one I've played the most, and I love the beat of like nature, and the beat of music, and the beat of sort of life. It's the heartbeat of everything. And for me, hip hop is the genre, but for you, jungle and DNB and other types of music,
I
but
like
like the
everything
idea
apart from
is there's a.
psytrance.
I don't mind
Everything.
psytrance either, actually.
I can't be doing with psytrance, to be honest with you, but it's fair enough. I've got a basement. I've got a basement asset, bro. It's really good. I'm good. Go on.
I've been to event in London called what was it? Illuminaughty. And Illuminaughti is a
I
psytrance
have not
rave,
been
and
there,
it
bro.
is pretty wild. I got some cool videos from that, but yeah, there's I don't know. Every genre deserves a bit of love at the end of the day.
Yeah, where I live, psytrance is huge, but there's a lot of psy stuff going on where I live. I don't have a problem with it; it's fine, but it's just nice people. I'm just like, yeah, I'm at the party, and I'm like, bro, why are we all listening to this? I got some drum and bass in my pocket, so I put that on. It's just like my vibe, but like respect all the different aliens, and it kind of it's cool because it's like that is it. It's like everyone's on a mission trying to find out who they are, or whatever. Maybe not everybody, but it's sort of people do self organize. That's the whole point about this. Even mold, there's mold on the floor, yeah, that will like be on the floor and it will go into loads of different pieces. It will climb up through all the leaves, which is impossible, and then get back together on top of the leaves again and be like, what up? Yeah, that's impossible. And that's just people though, and we do that. So it's like Steve Aoki's got his crew as well, you know, but I'm not in it.
It's my mycelium, man. It's that Paul Stamets lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm more about the mushrooms.
Growing everywhere. You can't stop it. I can't remember what I was going to say, actually. Carry on talking if you don't mind.
Oh, well, I think we've like covered it. Oh, I got a basement. I wanted to tell you that. I can't find the website, but I really like it. And it's one of my first audiovisual pieces on, it's called Ekaf Eram. It's fake Marek backwards, basically. And I got drunk with Marek. Marek's like a bit of a legend in his own way. And I got drunk with him. Oh, he got drunk. Someone was drunk. And I recorded this conversation with him. And it's funny. Oh, wow. Mimetic power, bro. Right. So the Chris Akabusi remix I did for you guys for Redlion is part of a 4-part Akabusi remix series, yeah, which is going to come out on vinyl. And anyone who holds all 4 of them is going to get a vinyl, basically, when I've done it. Yeah. I'm not doing it like Viva, like doing it professionally, producing the thing and then selling. I'm saying like buy the dream, basically. I might do it. But also, this Ekaf thing. So there's a track called Shari Vari. And this Akabusi mix I did for you is the Sharivari Akabusi Awuga remix, right? But the Sharivari is a really tune that's really important to me. And so I've used it in another track, which is this track I did for Basement. And it's basically a track from Detroit, I think, in like early 80s or late 70s. And it was like a punk band. And it was before techno, but they didn't have... I'm trying to find the thing. But... Oh yeah, it's called Ekaf Keram. It is, yeah. And I've done a video for it, a kaleidoscope inspired video, I might say. It's fucking dope, basically. Check it out. Check it out, yeah. But it's just a laugh. But it uses Sharivari, and I think that talking about musical memes and stuff like that, Sharivari is a huge meme. Yeah, it's like this. It's if there was a Telegram group for the XCP techno community of just the most rude boy kind of people. You'd have like Craig Richards and Carl Craig and Jeff Mills and people like that, you know, Moody Man or whatever in it, yeah? Then they would be using Sharivari as their PEPE. You see what I'm saying? Almost. Yeah. So it's like, it's important for me to meme that into this culture because, I mean, there is already an established music culture in XCP, but I'm doing my thing, and I just want to bring that and mention it because I think it's an important track. And if you go on YouTube, there is a video of somebody, like I think it might be Carl Craig, talking about the history of it. So check that out, and everybody make memes of Sharivari, basically.
I think you mentioned to me that it is one of the founding tracks for techno and house music, or maybe not house,
I mean, I think
music,
it inspired the invention of techno. So there would be no techno. Well, maybe like this was a band that was doing techno before techno even existed. Like before the machines to make techno, they played it as a band. You see what I'm saying? There wasn't a drum machine. That's the point. And in the same way, you've got that. Go on. I'll shut up.
Sorry. You mentioned colors and the secondary colors being some of your favorites, and I wonder if that could be because it's a blend, because it's not just one thing, it's actually two colors in one or multiple colors in one. And the way that we work with our projects, I think the more entertaining projects are the ones that blend ideas from multiple communities. And this techno track that inspired new ideas helped blend perhaps one genre into another. But I was going to say before as well, I forgot, when it comes to music and the knowledge that Kanye has sort of blasted out into the world, and the understanding of 808s and how these drum beats and how how these drum beats work and how they can affect your mood and what kind of music we've been listening to for a long time and how it has affected our moods. I am incredibly excited with a project like Basement to see what kind of new music is possible, like what kind of new sounds we might hear, because there will be new genres and there will be new tracks and there will be new artists that you've never heard of. And it's all going to happen on blockchain. It's not going to happen on Spotify or YouTube or anything like that, because people don't have the freedom to really experiment in those Web2 worlds that they do in Web3. So who knows what might happen, but keep your eye on Basement, I would say, and have a look for some of these fake Marrakesh type. You're going to have to post a tweet in the threads, I think, with that. How do you say it?
Ekaf Keram. Like Marek fake backwards. Yeah.
Anyways, should we open up to see if anybody else wants to come up and ask some questions or join the chat, because we've talked for an hour now, I think.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Does anyone have questions? I have fucking questions, I'll tell you that. Am I allowed to say one?
Can we get Nathan up here?
Maybe. Will you come up, Nathan? He's like, no, he's probably just put it on silent. He's like, no.
He's waved.
He's coming in. That would be great, though. He's the one to speak to, really. In fact, yeah, anyway, we will do. I don't know how to do it, but I'm just a speaker.
I'm hitting approve, but it's not working. Come on.
It takes like this bit of lag, isn't it?
Yeah, hello.
There you go.
It is.
Hello, Nathan.
I don't have anything to say. I've got to ask you, Arwyn, how do you get so much shit done? Like, I just have no idea.
Well, I've got like nothing else going on.
Easy.
Nah, not just, yeah. That is, I try and like work. I do work really hard, to be honest. I don't like work a lot. I do stuff a lot. I think partly probably a bit of ADHD, and partly because I've been by my very nature a very lazy person. I've been enjoying it hard, I guess, and now I've just kind of left it a bit of a long time to have something to say. And it all sort of it's built up a bit. So just trying to get it out. And I've got a very amazingly understanding girlfriend as well. So it's just like a necessity. It's actually good. Like I say, I feel really relieved that we're in this time where you can get some stuff done, because I can see in the future when I'm in my Lambo, I'm hardly going to be able to do any blogging at all.
You're not going to want to, mate. You're going to be too busy enjoying life. The real version.
I don't think I'd get a Lambo, but the point is, it's good to have a bit of time to do
what car would you get?
Oh man, I'm looking at these old Datsuns. They've got some like 1960s Datsuns, like in Mexico. It's really wild though. That's maybe either a Mark II Golf GTI would be dope, or a Beetle, like an old Beetle. That's what I'm after, really. Or nice. I might get a 4x4 Lambo, like, because it seems legit. If I live on top of a hill, I'll have a 4x4 Lambo. But otherwise, Beetle.
You could get the Lambo tractor.
Yeah. I could get some John Deere stuff.
How fast does that thing go?
88 mile an hour, bro. Actually, I'd like a DeLorean. I mean, it depends how stupid. I don't want to be that guy, but I wouldn't mind a car. That would be okay, to be honest.
Just have a push bike.
Yeah, actually, I'm after a bike as well. I had a bike, but I left it in Tulum by mistake. It was shit anyway. So, but yeah, like I live on a hill at the moment. I'm quite happy, really. But like, I think that's also a funny meme, and I often wonder how many people actually have got a Lambo, because you don't see people's lives. And it's like, by all means, get a Lambo. I personally think it would be a bit too much looking after. But like, people have got Lambo. Does nobody have a Lambo? That would be what would be the funniest. I'd love to know. but no one's going to tell me.
I got a Subaru Impreza.
Oh yeah, you
mountain
said
car.
that's dope. That's dope. I mean, I
do
love.
enjoy it.
I think having it, and maybe we could have like this is the future, isn't it? Like we can have like a car community, right? So like we could get like a Ford Capri and like a Golf GTI and a Beetle and all this stuff, and it's like timeshare, and you can just deliver it round. And everyone can have a car for a week. 'Cause no one, I don't really want a Lambo, but I wouldn't mind to go. But like, have a 1 week a year, I'll get the Lambo. You know, the other week I'll have the Metro 6R4 Turbo. You know, the other one I'll have the Lotus Elise. You know, we all want like everyone wants good cars. We all like that's the point. Is I bet you I could do a list of cars which people would go fucking. If you're on this group of people, you'd be like, I want to drive that car. I see Raynor Moore in there. He used to do monster trucks. That would be some whole other shit. No, I won't be into doing some monster trucks for a bit. That'd be cool.
I do see like in the future there will be artists or designers who work for Toyota and work for Honda and work for Ford or whoever it might be, and they're all going to understand what we're doing and how we are collaborating on art. And I think they're going to want to be a part of what we're doing. And I think they're going to want to bring what they usually do into what we're doing. And there's going to be groups, like you say, like car communities that design cars collectively and push that somehow down the supply chain so that it becomes a real thing. Like we won't be calling them Lambos. There'll be some, I don't know, a Chris Akabusi mobile, you know, like
I'm
whatever.
definitely planning on pepifying my Beetle or camper if I get that. I think that's going to be a token. And also, I'd love to see a Pepe. Yeah, it'd be good, no?
I would love to have a Lambo that just says, "Are you not entertained?" across the sides of it, and just drive around town, and people would be looking at you like, "Why? Like, why are you what's going on?" But you know.
It's all right if you live in a place where everyone else has got Lambos, but if you've got a Lambo and everyone else got tin hut, then you look like a bit of a knob, in my opinion. So I'd probably get my Lambo when I'm in Vegas or when I go to Saudi Arabia for a holiday, which I'd never do. But you know what I mean? That kind of vibes. And if I got a Lambo, I think it'd be orange. But like, I definitely like to see a Pepe monster truck. That would be really good promotion for Pepe. That'd be fucking great. Gravedigger versus Pepe. What would you call it? Pepe monster truck. Can somebody just do that asset and then we'll just meme it into existence? Just make people think it's real, basically. I
saw Eli Spry recently did a Lamborghini wrapped in Batstew's geometric Pepes. So it's a Pepe inspired Lambo, but it doesn't like say Pepe or look like Pepe. It's got this geometric art all over it and it looks incredible. It's like it's an asset, or like it's a car within one of his own pictures. So it's not just the car. It's not a 3D model or anything like that, but it sits in one of his other images with it's just, and I think he said this is what he's going to do when he gets a Lambo. And I'm like, dude, you are going to get that Lambo because I want to see that shit happen. I want to see that car driving around with the Batstew wrap on it. Like this kind of stuff, the way that people are creating friendships and creating assets based off their friends' assets or based off somebody else's work, like it's incredible to watch. And I think it will slowly just feed down or drip down into real life, and all of a sudden it's going to be a whole nother level of cool. Like at that point we're onto our 7th halving or something. But
yeah, man, you know what, I actually had about 10 years ago or so in Ibiza, I fucking got really high and I went out my body into this other dimension, and I think it was the future. That's what's weird. But I was sitting with these like Jaguar not shaman, like sultans, yeah, and I was in like Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia in like an underground car park, right? And there was like this it was like a runway of cars going round in a circle, all these supercars, yeah, and these sultans were like leopard sultans were like controlling them with like their phones, basically with like a push button. But what was the most amazing thing about it was all these cars had like OLED screen wraps all around the cars, yeah. So it's like over the wheel arches, you had like flames, like grease lightning, yeah. But these flames were like lapping, yeah. They were like lapping flames, and they had like a 23 on the door, but the car's thing was spinning, yeah. And I realized at the time, and this was a long time ago, like 2013 or something like that. I realized that they were like OLED screens, and you just did the panel, and I had this whole vision about how you could like plot it with 3D graphics and stuff like that. And I spoke to somebody who worked at Red Bull about even doing it, but it was like 2013. It was just like way too expensive. And I wonder if anybody's ever done it, because it's like 2023 now. But why would you not have like, and then you could have a load of presets, like you've got your what they had was like desktops, basically. So you'd swipe down on your phone and like a new preset would come up, a bit like that app, what I'm using that you give me at the moment. You can just press spacebar and it'll do another preset, basically. Yeah, Photo Mosh or whatever it is.
Oh, Photo Mosh, yeah.
Yeah. And so they were just doing that, and basically they.
If anybody hasn't checked out Photo Mosh, if anybody hasn't checked that out, give it a look. Photo Mosh is a really cool tool for glitch art and for sort of just adding a bit more flavor to a stationary image or a video. It's got all sorts of different tools. It's like another version of Photoshop almost.
Don't overdo it. Hashtag don't overdo it. I'm trying not to use it.
Well,
it does add a bit of value.
You can tell that there will be a lot of people using it in future, and there will be a lot of similar types of art because of the way the tool is. But there is a lot of functionality where you can make it look like you can create your own styles in there, I think. So
I'm already going back to MS Paint, but I tell you what, like a little bit of subtlety on it is like just a tiny bit of like grain or something is nice, or like a little bit of
definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, what was the story about that tool you were saying?
About changing I was just about my tripping out with the Sultans. Yeah. Anyway, I was just like, it occurred to me like 10 years ago, this invention was going to happen. Like, when I am like the person with the Lambo, for example, I would obviously have that. If I was that guy now, I would just go, bro, here's like however much it is going to cost, maybe 100 grand, say, and say, go and speak to Samsung, get some OLED screen, and let's have this at the car show, because there's no cooler thing than what I've just said on car decoration. Like, any car wrap, I'd love to see.
What I want you to do now is to go to the comments section and scroll down and see the tweet that I just posted, or am posting, and tell me what you think, because I saw this just the other day and I think it's exactly what you're talking about, but it's not flames, it's not as cool as your dream. It is a fully so if you just in the space and then go hit that little comments down the bottom right, it says 6 on it. I posted a few tweets in there about different things we've been talking about, but the YouTube clip at the bottom.
I see. Okay, I got it. Well, let's see. Oh shit. Yeah, man, it's so weird because I've seen. Imagine you've seen something in your head, but you can't be asked anything about it for 10 years. Let's have a look. It's gotta be possible. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can see what we're doing.
Rainer, do you want to come up and speak, man, or woman, or? I don't know, because we're talking to pseudonyms half the time, whether I'm talking to a dude or a lady, but a name like Rainer Mora, I want to know more. I want to understand what Rainer Mora actually. I know that's a name from history, isn't it? It's not like Mansa Musa is another name from history, which is one of our alien friends.
He's the biggest kicker chat of all time. Bring him up if he'll come up.
Yeah, exactly. Mansa's not in here, I don't think, but I did want to talk to Rainer if he wanted to. Or she again.
Get Kev. Come on, Kev. Come on, lad. Get up here. Get Rainer up. Look at his profile picture. Look at that alone. Let's just take a second to shill Indelibles Genesis Mika collection. If those who don't know, the one that Rainer's got right now. Not only has he got what I consider to be the Welsh special edition shoes, but he's got orange sauce, and he's got the orange crane, and he's got the Akabusi. That is a seriously rare Mika Genesis.
Yeah, I love that one.
I'm going to link the Mega Genesis collection in for people as well, because it is incredible. I love how it has Indel's golden. Who's the face that Indel has got?
Chris Akabusi, bro.
It's like the not Chris. On Indel's one, he's got some guy with a shaved line inside of his head.
It's the BBC documentaries, Think Smart Guy. Everyone should watch that. It's about a guy who's like basically.
See, this is it. Memes on memes, man.
Yeah, you got to know your meme, bro. I'm going to start to cover things like that, and I'd love it if anyone else wants to contribute to Meme Inquirer, especially and do stuff like that, which is kind of specific knowledge dependent. Like that TV documentary that it's based on was like BBC 3, I think, and I saw it live on television. And imagine like 10 years later, I'm like milling around and I see this thing. I'm like, I know that guy. You see how it works? Yeah. And you're like, boom. It's like cultural phenomenon.
It's funny, man.
Yeah.
It's the dude who does, there's the gif of him like touching his like temple, right?
Yeah, be smart. So basically, he's like, I think what he's trying to do is he's vaguely famous. If I remember, bro. he's vaguely famous, and he's like, I'm a TV presenter, and he's not. He's basically only ever done this TV program. He's like, I'm gonna go around and get loads of free shit. Yeah. So he's like, goes to the car showroom, and he's like, right, I'm a TV presenter, and he's like, I've never heard of you. And he's like, yeah, I am. And he's like, I need a car. Can I have a car? And the guy's like, I'll give you 5% off or something like that. I can't even remember, yeah. But he's basically a really great character. It's a really great documentary.
His name is Reece Simpson, aka Roll Safe.
Right, Roll Safe. Roll Safe, that's it. That's bro.
I'm just posting this all in the tweet thread now. Like this is fun, man, because we're just holding a space, we're just chatting to each other, and Raina Moore is meant to be speaking, but we've just gone on a Mika rant. So
yeah, sorry. Like I'll start. I mean, I'm ready. Like not that many people, but it's good to know about that meme. That's a particularly like powerful one. I think it's used by everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, these Genesis collection profile pictures are going to blow up a little bit, I think, this year, as people start to understand what we are about.
Mate, there's so much alpha in that. It's like it's all about compressing as much information.
The Christmas Nikes on.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have Indelible to just to talk about that, don't you? I bet he won't do it, but still, it would be good. There's a lot going on in there. I still haven't figured it all out. I would think there's a little spoiler that some of the Nakamotos are more orange than others. I would say. I think there's all sorts of all sorts of stuff going on.
Anyways, what's going on, Raina? Should we do a roll call? We've got CP, we've got Dudley, we've got Geo. Oh, people's names are changing in front of my eyes. We've got NFT Yachtmaster, we've got Redlion News, we've got CSPR4, James, I'm gonna have to go actually click into the profiles to see them. They've got dots, Migs, Kishi, Weedle.
Big up Migs. He's a PEPE alien massive. Big up the PEPE aliens.
Raoul UK, El Sol, and 330 Magic.
Raoul
is that the whole roll call, or are there more people? I don't know.
Who's Raoul Duke? That's funny. I feel like it's someone I should know. Yeah, Raoul Duke is the
Raoul Duke.
Yeah, it's the guy from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's the accountant of Hunter S. Thompson. That's where the character comes from.
It's a character. See, that's the thing. We're playing with characters.
Too weird to live, too rare to die.
We're not real.
He might be the real
We're just
one.
Characters in a game.
Yeah. I'm following him now anyway. Everyone follow Raoul Duke Lens, whoever he is. He's got the best name. There we go.
Is Raina back yet? No. Raina just dipped. Was like, no, I don't want to talk to these idiots.
Yeah, it's got too much alpha. Maybe it's because I said he had fat fingers. Oh, that was late, wasn't it? Anyway, they know what they say about people.
J-Lo. No, Geo Espinacas. Funk.xcp with a red stripe. I like to see it. Just diving into some profiles here, because this is the kind of shit I like to do when I'm playing around on the internet, is just go a level deeper than everyone else does. Just research some random information. Find out about shit you didn't know about yesterday.
I'm going to start putting loads of false stuff about myself on Twitter. On the internet. I
like to be quite real. Like, at the same time as being fake, I like to be quite real, because like we are teaching people how to use these tools to learn and like to seek knowledge at the end of the day. Like I seek knowledge every day. I just want to learn something new. And I think most people in Web3 do, but some of the newbies won't understand what that is about. Like that's an ideology, right? Like that's a whole theology or whatever that we have, philosophy. Like there's a Web3 philosophy that is building, I think, and it is part of one of the most entertaining parts for me is to watch like Stoic knowledge and alchemical knowledge and
you know what? Apart from alchemical knowledge,
like hermetic knowledge come through. Like people are starting to understand culture and races and what it all means. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, definitely find out more about it. It's not knowing what it all means, but at the same time, like learning real stuff. Like that's one of the things that I've learned the most through Mikaboshi is like it is a bit of a shield.
Fake communities, but real conversations, I would say.
Yeah, like so I made a mistake basically issuing my Boshi Cash, which is this currency that I'm going to basically airdrop to the people who have collected it after a certain point, right, and use it for whatever. Probably nothing, spoilers. But yeah, the point was that you can only mint 10 at a time, I think it was, on Manifold. And so that was like basically no money. It was like 20 cents or something like that. But through the group and through helping the group Cartonated and stuff like that, found a way to like go into the inspect window and change the amount that you wanted to mint, you know, so you could like mint like 1 million or whatever. And
No,
so like, yeah, but it's
Unlimited.
dope because, yeah, but I did it myself, right? I minted my own stuff, and it's like that super feel like zero cool hackers is something I'm going to really start memeing in 2020.
Wait, so you've left that open so people can still do that? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I want people to do it. No, I wanted them to do it. Yeah,
sure?
And it's like, yeah, it's funny though because Viva did his mint the other day. Yeah, the free mint, right? And I went on it, and I was like, hey, I wonder if I can do 1,000 on a free mint. I didn't try it because I didn't actually want to do it. Yeah, but the point is, great power comes with responsibility. But that's hacking, bro. It's like whether it's allowed to be doing it or not. Yeah, it's like I learned how to do it, and I learned how to do it through Mikaboshi and through a product that I accidentally invented. So I know how excited I was when I pressed the button and I did it, yeah. And I know that there's other people who've done it.
It's like you just taught yourself how to hack a little bit, or like how to sort of dig a level deeper again into the code and actually understand what the hell's going on, you know? Like otherwise people are just using the tools rather than learning about how to use the tools.
Yeah, and it's like, where's the utility? It's like, well, Boshi Cash taught you how to hack. You know, that'll go down. You'll be like, I remember that. I was like, did my first hack with Boshi Cash. So also, it's a good chance to shill the Telegram group for Mikaboshi. There's all sorts of chat going on there. It's like mostly bollocks, people posting Chris Akabusi memes, mostly me. But like, also, if you've not, I don't know if it's a link for that. But people can come in. There's a lot of people learning. We've learned all about how to burn taxes, sell taxes, liquidity pools. But people doing lots of liquidity pool management over both projects, not just the this Mikaboshi, but the last one.
The best way to learn,
We've got Indelible building C and Red, which is like the first ever platform I've seen that takes like actual like native community currency, like actually takes Mikaboshi and you can mint in Mikaboshi and stuff. This is stuff I would love to have done with PEPE Aliens, and it's unheard. Well, maybe it's not unheard of, but I'm not really a big ETH minting guy, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But certainly anything I've been part of, this is firsts for me, and it's super cool.
Yeah, a lot of firsts. I mean, I've spent since probably 2017 learning about Bitcoin and crypto and what everything is, and it's. Sorry, I got someone at my door. It's never been more entertaining than it is now. Basically, like doing it with other people and like just seeing how bots can help us learn about it and like what AI is doing and all that sort of stuff. It all links together, you know.
Can we turn the tables? I've got a question. Do you know Noel Edmonds? Because he lives in New Zealand, basically. That's all. And I emailed him once because he's got a radio station making plant music. And
sorry, give me 1 second, Arwyn. I'm just off with the ferries at the moment, but helping someone else out, so I'll be back. But keep talking.
The others can hear me. Yeah, the others can hear me. So I make plant music. Here's a good chance to shill. That's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. If you check out, I don't even know what it's called. Bandcamp, I guess. Yeah. And then I don't even know. Anyway, something. I've got a website where I've got loads of plant music. So you put sensors on the plant and then record like MIDI information and then sort of interpret it and play it back and that sort of stuff. And anyway, I emailed Noel Edmonds and I'm like, bro, because I heard he'd gone to New Zealand to start a plant music radio station. I don't know how true this is. This was like 10 years ago or something. I'm like, bro, you're going to be feeling me because I've got some amazing plant music. And guess what? Nothing. Fucking bastard. Anyway, I was still bullish on Noel Edmonds, despite me not liking his ethics and role in Deal or No Deal, because I think that's one of the most evil shows that you could possibly. It's not evil. It's sad. It's a sad TV show. Yeah, and I ain't got a problem with Mr. Blobby. But then the other day, I was speaking to somebody about ethical memeing, and they casted aspersions on Noel Edmonds, yeah, which made me think, well, no, I'm not saying anything. I'm bullish on Noel Edmonds ultimately. But like he's a PEPE, let's say that, you know. Mr. Blobby is a PEPE in a way. It's fucked up, but it's like anyway, now he exists. So on next CP, and that's my fault in a way. I apologize to all people and hope that nobody expands that. But still, I just wondered, do you know Noel Edmonds or not? And if not, can you get to meet him?
Are you sure that that's true, that he moved to New Zealand?
Yes, bro. It was on the newspaper. Google it. I'm going to write a meme inquiry about it.
He is a weirdo,
Noel
isn't he?
Edmonds, did you say?
It felt a bit like he'd run away, you know.
He's a television presenter.
He's all into cosmic ordering and stuff.
Oh, mate, there's a photo of him with Jacinda Ardern on Google.
You are.
There's a photo with him and Jacinda, our Prime Minister.
There you go. Illuminati confirmed. No, there was a big court case. You'd have to Google it, where he sued some. He'd been involved in litigation for ages, basically, and I think he won. And then he's like, right, fuck you, I'm going to go and live in New Zealand and make play plant music. It was about as suspicious as a story as you could come across, basically. But like, maybe Google it. I don't know what slander rules there are on Twitter. That might all be in my head because I am quite, I'm quite an imaginative person. But if that is not true, then I really do need a bit of help because I think it's true. I'm quite sure it's true.
I think you're right, mate. I've got an article to back.
Yeah, they're taking him out, see. Broadcast BBC. I don't want to even talk about the Ben Stone. It's another conversation. But this is a bit like Wayne's World, when he turns off the TV and he's like, hey guys. That's it. Wayne leaves TV show. Anyone else want to do a little bit of a talk? Oh, because I'm a bit bored of me now. Maybe we should stop. Do some rapping. Maybe we should have a little sing song. Oh, this is awkward, isn't it? So yeah.
It's just you. You have to sing.
Yeah. What would you like me to sing? Oh, he's back. I was going to sing then. God damn it. That's my time. That was what this was all leading up to. Is I've actually got the golden voice. I was going to unleash it on my new single coming up on.
Yet more talent. Yet more. You're going to hit us with yet more talent.
I was. No, that's what I've not got talent. I was in Les Miserables when I was a kid, and I played Gavroche, and I met the Queen's sister, Princess Margaret, and I made her cry.
Can you remember any of the songs?
Yeah, which I'll do some for you.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
How do you do? My name's Gavroche. These are my people. Here's my patch. Not much to look at. Nothing posh. Nothing that you'd call up to scratch. This is my school, my high society. Here in the slums of Saint Michel. We live on crumbs of humble piety. Tough on the teeth, but what the hell? Think you're poor. Think you're free. Follow me. Follow me.
Brilliant. I'm cracking up.
Oh, my Gavroche Pepe. Look it up. I don't know, bro. It's one of the weirdest shit. Is like understanding that you've done something like that like hundreds of times, right? Obviously, like that's probably quite an important production. Cameron Macintosh stuff and what it's about and all that and failed revolutions, And here we are sat round the fucking metaphoric table, waiting for the next failed revolution and just getting pissed. I love it.
Awesome.
Echoes of the past. Yeah. Anyway, should we do something else now?
I quite like the singing. We should just carry on with that.
Have you got any songs?
Yeah, I'm going to mute my mic while I sing. Hold on a sec.
He's practicing. This is warming up. Here's my note. There's your note. We could do like a Abbott and Costello or like who's on first base thing.
I love that sketch.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sketches. I wish I could find a way to recreate it and make it like work for me, but it's so complex. It's genius, like a cartonated meme. It's like what?
Yeah, can you imagine coming up with that? I mean, just insane.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is again. It's like it must have been effortless because you couldn't. Some things you can't do. Like it's like chess. It's like the other. It evolves the other way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They must have just done it and been like, what the fuck did we just do? That's amazing.
Yeah.
But also the delivery.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's the training there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The writing is a stroke of genius.
Yeah. But like, again, wordplay, it's all about like, it's so much fun in just such a few words, so many like strings pulled. I wish I could, I mean, I can do it a bit with pictures, but some people, and I don't even know, it's like, if it's consistent, and also talking about how do you get stuff done. It's like at certain times you're more motivated to do stuff. Like most bands are mostly crap, aren't they? But they have a bit of being good. Just got to keep going.
They've got at least one good track. Yeah.
I'd hate to be that guy though. That it's like, play Sweet Caroline again. You're like, fuck off. This is my new album, and then I turn tomatoes at you and stuff. It's like so bad. It's like don't want to be that guy at all. I'd rather just like throw the tomatoes.
I've worked with bands in a previous life, and some of the bands I worked with were one-hit wonders, and it was kind of sad. It was kind of really sad.
Yeah, I did. I was on a cruise ship as a DJ, a guest, long story, just for a bit, right? Just moonlighting. And but it was really cool because it was like a 3-day booze cruise from was really cool, quote unquote, from Southampton to like Amsterdam and back or something.
Oh, nice.
But it was like a 80s legends, like stars in their eyes cruise, but it wasn't fakes, it was real people, right? So we had Pow, right?
Oh,
We had John Paul Young, yeah, and who were the ones? I've never been closer. Heaven 17, them, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I did a couple of concerts with those, right? And it's like, oh man, different levels of awesomeness. But like, I don't know why we're talking about this, but it was really good fun.
It's life.
Like,
that's what we're talking about.
Talking about it because I got rugged.
Oh yeah. But one-hit wonders, that would be a whole. Like, I'd love to see Chesney Hawkes. I'd love to see a whole official channel. That's kind of what I'm trying to mean with Boshi. Really, is let's just do something really far away from what everyone have I've been doing, because I just want to be super silly as possible. But I don't want to feel like I'm detracting from the narrative, because it's like, I know it's not about just about Kakabusi, Mikaboshi, and I think I've made quite a lot of noise about it. So it's like, I just want a safe space to just be as stupid as possible, but not uncouth. No more Noel Edmonds memes. But like, for example, Chesney Hawkes needs a meme, doesn't he? You know,
the more you say no more Noel Edmonds, the more you'll get Noel Edmonds.
Well, look, maybe Noel Edmonds is a bad
He's
person,
in New Zealand, mate. He was born to be memed by me.
Yeah,
this is why he's into cosmic ordering. He's like he's memeing you now. He's like,
you're the one who mentioned he was doing cosmic ordering.
Noel Edmonds, man.
I may or may have not known he was doing cosmic ordering for some time.
He must be influencing this Twitter space to get us to talk about him or something.
Yeah, bro. Like, we don't know, do we? That's the truth. But the power of the BBC.
Now everybody's thinking about him, and is it Arwyn, or is it him, or is it us that brought this upon ourselves? You know, like
yeah.
How did I end up here?
BBC cameras are more magic than other cameras. Change my mind.
More magic.
I don't know how outrageous I'm going to get on that, but maybe there's something that charges the magic of television, like being as it is literally that charge made of charges, that can make it more chargy by some sorts of many different ways. I don't want to speculate, but something to do with magic.
It is the British Broadcasting Company, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
no, I mean, what
do we know from XCP about broadcasting from very recently, from an experience with a certain Clampy, who is an asset who lives on the Bitcoin blockchain. He is literally alive. He's 17 years old. His issuance is his age, apparently. So there's an asset called Clampy, and you can look him up on Xchain and find out about who he is and the Iceman and some other shit. But what was I talking about? I don't know.
If you want to see Clampy when he was younger, you just look for Clampy Jr., Clampy JR, and you'll get Clampy when he was like 4 years old.
Before he evolved.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised you know all about this. Nathan, would you tell us something about this coin that you sent me? I know it's like talking about me, but the thing I'm most interested in is in the world, basically, is that coin that is the Japanese token that you sent me a while
what was
ago.
it called? Himawari or
I can't remember. I can't even
I've
find
it. I've just got Mikaboshi in my mind. Yeah, I'll go and find it.
It seems like it's super relevant.
I was talking about broadcast, Arwyn.
I know. I don't know.
Did you see the broadcast commotion and how we had to win Clampy back over?
I didn't see it. I need to find out about this. It's somehow slipped.
Well, you got to get in the HODL pit chat, man. You got to get into HODL pit, and it was in Kaleidoscope. You might have seen some of the chat in there. People from HODL pit came across to the other community because they were like, "Yo, what are you doing? You're holding our pit hostage. What's happening? We need our HODL drop."
Oh shit! I didn't see that. Honestly, I've been writing like 20,000.
It was all cross to Duncan from Speak
I
Tech.
do love Duncan. Duncan's ledge as well, but I've just been a bit busy writing millions and millions of words a week and drawing memes, but I've been a bit slack on the Telegram, to be honest.
Moral of the story is broadcasting is the way that you get you send a message out to absolutely everybody on the network, and anybody can see it. And that is what the BBC do. They send a message out to everyone in the world that everybody receives. So
I may or may not have broadcast.
I
may or may not have broadcast messages in that way before as well. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noel Edmonds actually tried to buy the BBC at one point. Just getting back to Noel Edmonds.
Is that true?
I probably tried to save it, mate.
He said he was part of a group of people who were going to buy the BBC.
An esoteric group by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Oh shit! I remember now. This is fuck, bro. This goes deep. Wasn't he like?
That's why he had to run it all the way to the 8th fucking continent of the world.
Yeah, it's like it was either you have to check, but it was like Endemol or Talkback, one of those two companies. I think he was like the founder. It might be Endemol, and they did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all that Anne Robinson horrible stuff and Deal and a Deal. And he basically became the biggest company in the world. Is that? Am I on the right story? I'm gonna have to do this on Meme Inquirer.
Can I ask Espresso to come up? I don't know who Espresso is, but only has like 95 tweets. 95 tweets, but like a good quality of tweet. As I was scrolling through the profile before. I don't know if Espresso wants to talk or not. I do like a coffee.
Yeah, I like wine. Got some wine now.
Mm.
Got no glass though, so fucking classy bastard.
He's saying hunt it. So hopefully that means he's trying. Maybe he's just saying, I like coffee too.
So how do I get one of these? Awooga NFTs, bro? Because I don't even have my own. I don't have my own NFT yet. What do people have to do to get the Chris Akabusi Awooga Busi NFT?
You have to go to gazette.red, GAZETTE.RED, and the mint option should be right in front of you for the magazine itself, which is the cover art, and then it is a free mint, so gas only, only for this week only, for a special from Redlion. They haven't done a free mint, I don't think, in their existence. They've been doing these things for more than 2 years, and they were usually priced at 0.069 each, which is roughly $100 or something, I don't know. And they've now changed it to $25 flat each week, sorry. So it's $25 USD for the magazine, and with the magazine comes the articles. In this particular gazette features my manifesto about PEPE the Frog and what he means, and Arwyn's Chris Awugabusi. So once you've minted the asset, which is the magazine, you then go into the redline.red app, or you stay in the gazette.red app. And so there's 2 different links there. They both belong to Redlion. Either one of them, you should be able to connect your wallet in the top right corner, and then there's a button to go to My Lion's Den. And in your Lion's Den, there is a button for Artdrops, and I hope we are going to take some of this button clicking out for the sake of people's sanity in the long run, because less clicks is better, in my humble opinion. But the idea is you go into your Lion's Den, you go to the Artdrops button, you hit that, and then you'll be presented with the Artdrops that are claimable based on your wallet and based on what gazettes you hold. So if you grab that first gazette for free, you'll be able to also mint the Artdrop for free. Artdrops will always be free, but the idea is to actually sell these magazines and funnel some of that money back to the artists, and be able to provide deals as any good business would to its people, and look after its employees, who are essentially volunteers in a way. We're all just sort of helping each other out and creating for each other at the moment, but we want to sell and get that money back to the people who made it happen. So it's all quite interesting, and that $25, is going to be coming back to the artists and coming back to the community and being reinvested in different things, because we love to, play with the idea of money, don't we?
Yeah. We're going to build an X-Man academy for like talented memers or untalented ones, lazy memers. We have a frisbee golf.
I'm playing with an idea at the moment on XCP of doing like the Mika Avengers, and having like all the different Marvel characters mixed with a bit of Mika flavor, and then people can buy them. They'll all be one of ones. So you can be a Mika Avenger if you like. Like, these sorts of ideas are just possible, like you do whatever you think you want.
Okay. No, that sounds good.
But yeah,
but like also, Avengers are a bit not that cool, are they? So you should make it a bit of a parody on it. Don't try and be like.
I'm gonna do a bit of Avengers, a bit DC, but like just all the different superheroes, but then also mix them with who the real superhero was, you know, because they're all based on someone like Batman is from Mayan culture. I believe you would know about that one.
I did not know Batman was based on Mayan culture, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look right into that. But I'm big on.
He's a Mexican mythological god.
I think that all these things go back to Quetzalcoatl, basically. And
oh man,
if you know who that is.
Have you heard of this thing called? You heard of this dude called the Y-Files on YouTube? Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Y-Files on YouTube. He is pretty interesting. I think he's like an adult who teaches kids with this little pet fish beside him about the same shit that we're learning about. It's kind of interesting.
Okay. I believe in dragons anyway, definitely.
But he talks about like this there's a book called Adam and Eve that just was declassified. It's like 57-page book, and it talks about the end of the world. And it's quite and the CIA had it classified for a while because presumably it had just been like filed away and forgotten about, but it wasn't like classified because they were seriously concerned about it. It's been declassified now, and the book was always public and available for sale at the time, so it's not like it's a conspiracy theory or anything. It's just like this dude wrote a book, and the book is, I don't know, it's bizarre. I'm gonna link the video in the comments.
Oh, well, you didn't actually say what it's about, but it sounds suitably bizarre. Let's check it out.
Did I not say what it's about? What does it mean to say about it? It's basically, I don't know, it's just about this end of the world, but it might be the start of the world, and there's aliens involved, and there's gods and creatures that referred to in the great floods and all that sort of stuff. You know, like the Younger Dryas was one great flood. It happened, they think, 11,600 years ago. Or no, is it 11,600 BC was when it happened? Maybe 9,500
That's what
BC.
they say.
Whatever it was. That was about 13,000 years ago or so, right? And then there was another flood around about 6,500 to 7,000 BC, which is more recent. And this is probably before the pyramids were built, but it was what led to the Egyptian dynasties in that period between 6,500 to like up until the birth of Christianity, essentially. Like there was
what do you think that they just took all the measurements of the pyramids as they were and then just extrapolated everything else in the universe just to fit the pyramids, just as a laugh, just to see if we believe it? That seems like a pretty good option because the only alternative is, well, it's that everything just fits magically together.
The alternative is that we find all these things out, the speed of light, everything. We do all the research, and then a calamity happens, and civilization is wiped out. But a few of us know what really was, and most of us don't because they weren't paying attention when it happened, which would suggest that we are very close to something happening. And this guy talks in the video as well about oh fucking hell, I linked an ad because the stupid ads come up before the video itself. I'll delete some shit, but the idea is, we're very close to potentially something happening, and the Earth itself, the poles shift quite rapidly in a very short space of time, essentially.
Man, I think that the Romans thought the sky would fall on their heads. I think stuff's happening all the time. I don't think there's anything happening in the future. But also, I hear what you're saying as well.
I just enjoyed here you go. I'll link. Finally found the right article to link. I'm just posting in the comments.
It reminds me of
it's worth a watch.
The end of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Not the end, in the bit in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when it gets to the end of the world, and there's this girl, I forgot her name. And she's like, finally, she worked it out. No one was going to have any more wars. Everyone was going to be fine. Everything was absolutely sorted out. And then before she could tell anyone, the world got destroyed by some Vogons making a hyperspace bypass. It's a bit like the same metaphor as Medicine Man. And that's been something that's been playing on my mind. Medicine Man movie a lot. I don't know if you've seen that with Sean Connery. Yeah. But it's like it's the polemic struggle, basically. It's like, they solved the cancer, but after they destroyed the rainforest. And I guess that I haven't seen Avatar new one, but maybe there's the same theme in that. And I feel that maybe disenchanted artists making art on XPP. It's sort of like that. We've seen it happen. However you want to explain that, we know these cycles that happen is like we are experienced and we accept that we live in this thing that's unfolding, and it's almost like an act of sort of rebellion. Like if I don't make Pepe art, the things that maybe I'll be like a prosecution lawyer or something else, which will serve to disserve my own internal, motivations.
Who knows, mate? It's all up for debate. It's all we don't really know. That's the beauty of it. But the yeah, it's just bizarre. These cats, man. I just wanted to shout out the dude, the Wi-Fi's channel, and like shout out anybody who's telling an alternative story right now. And also Espresso, I noticed you are now ready to speak, so jump in, man.
Hey, bro. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I enjoyed your song. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, and thanks for singing, man. I meant to come back and say thank you.
Man, you gotta do these things, bro. The show must go on.
Yeah, man.
I was getting really worried because I got rugged. I was like, no, I can't get back, and I hope they're still there when I get back. And then I came back and you were singing, and then my phone had to restart, and then I got back online. I'm like, thank God, I'm still here.
It's probably the first time it's ever been recorded.
The show went on.
Wait, who sang?
You'll get sampled too.
Was it you or was it Arwyn?
Yeah, it was me, bro. Arwyn.
Oh wow! Hey, nice job there, man. That was fun.
Thanks. The Queen's sister heard that. That's all I'm saying. Made her cry. Not that bit.
No, this.
So, Espresso, you're quite like, are you new to crypto or new to crypto Twitter because you don't have too many tweets there? I don't know. What's up?
Oh, me?
How long? What's your story?
Oh, my first account got perm banned. So I restarted in February, I think my current one is, but I like to keep it clean, man. You know, I'll tweet stuff and delete it, a day later when I regret it. So yeah, I keep it pretty clean, I like to just.
I saw you had some. I think
mostly just artwork and stuff.
In there.
Sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say there?
I said I saw you had some. Just scrolling through your feed, you got like Alfotas. I don't know how we pronounce his name, but he's got the golden Pepe from the Mika Genesis collection as well. Throw back to that conversation, but yeah, I see some interesting, some cool art, man.
Oh man, I mean, the past week I think I minted like 50 different artists Pepe's drop. I've been like going crazy, dude. It's like this is heaven for me. This past couple of weeks.
How long you been a fan of Pepe?
I mean, years, but I created Noun Pepes probably, I think that was in the spring, maybe. I forget when that first was, but that was maybe my first project, and I've just been, working on stuff since that.
I got a Noun Pepe, bro. I love Noun Pepes. I actually made
awesome.
My first asset, I think, I have to check which one it was, but it may have been Noun Pepe or Pepe Noun on XCP. And if you look at it, there's a guy, I actually don't know who it is on XCP, who was the artist. So when I first started buying NFTs, I bought it on OpenSea and I spoke to them and I said, do you mind if I release it on XCP as like a copy version, like not a double mint, but like a parody piece, And they went like, yeah, sure, go for it. So I did like a video. Animated thing. I was super high on cat, and I found a thing on Google Chrome where I could record the screen, and it was all just happening really weird, and it made so much sense. And put it on Kaleidoscope, and it went down really, really well. It was like I did like hundreds of them or something like that. It's super happy. I'm super happy to meet you about that and tell us more about Pepe Nouns, bro.
Oh wow! I mean, I would love to see that. Yeah, I mean, it just came from hanging out in the spaces and stuff, and then just getting familiar with the Nouns DAO. I've always been a fan of them. And then, I don't know, it just one day came to me. I was just like, Noun Pepes. And then just started assembling pixels, and it's all been, downhill from there. So, yeah, just been Pepe since day one, man, honestly.
That's amazing. Is it like, does it work? Like, I know that composables have just come out. Is that what it's called? Composable nouns have just come out. And before I got involved in Pepe, like consciously. I nearly went with, I was flirting a bit with Nouns because I liked what they're doing and I thought they're a good organization. But then I just thought not as good as for me. I just preferred this XCP, and I kind of went with that. But yeah, I have thinking about Mikoboshi and how that's expanded, and also the need for like sort of that kind of DAO structure. Was there anything of that, or is it just PFP? Was there any more thought behind it?
Well, I mean, initially there was some thoughts about making it a DAO and then, having potentially some sub DAOs and stuff, but I was also very involved in, I don't know if there's another project that you've heard of by Omakase, the PEPE Liberation Army. That was a pretty, I would say larger size DAO. There's definitely maybe like a few hundred people at the time when it launched. And there was a lot of growing pains with, I think, that system. So I don't think that like I necessarily had to like the volume or holder count that you would necessarily need for a functioning DAO. But yeah, I've kind of stepped a little bit back from the DAO model, slightly, just from dealing with that experience.
The token is the art, and the art is the utility. If the community is strong enough, they'll build no matter what. And that's what I've learned from being a part of the Aliens community. Like, our founders made this project and then basically backed off, and they haven't been seen for like the last 4 or 5 months. But we know that they do care about us, and they are working on things with artists because they put 16 one-of-one artists in the drop initially. So like, there's obviously some thought gone in, but the community is starting to build itself. And like, if you're now Pepes, like if they are destined to be great, they will be great, and I'm sure like it looks like a cool project, man. Like the art is cool, and it's cool to hear someone just say like, I just picked up the paintbrush and started painting pixels.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I've been an artist, since my whole life. It's funny actually. I found some like drawings that I did in kindergarten where I was literally drawing like noun pepes, the frog shape. It was like, it's uncanny. It's pretty funny. I've been drawing noun pepes for like 30 years, man, at least. But
nice.
Yeah, so I mean, so like you said, the art is the token, and which is the utility. And I was fortunate enough to link up with a developer by the name of Whale Goddess, who created a contract for noun pepes, which there was 420, which were all minted to the OpenSea shared storefront. So he actually created a contract where if you transfer your NFT, your ERC 1155 noun pepe to an ENS address, you get minted a new ERC 721 reciprocal noun pepe. So yeah, we're
cool.
It's fun to like do stuff on chain and experiment and do some novel work along with some cool art.
Yeah.
Well, bring that goddess into the Mikoboshi tribe.
Token transfer is the future, definitely. And also not necessarily token transfer, but like upgrade and bringing people together. As you just said, like DAOs, it sounds cool now, but like if you work inside, I've been in quite big DAOs, and you really, not only do you need a lot of numbers to make it work, yeah, but because there's a lot of things that are involved in that, but also you need a lot of active engagement as well. So we've even seen in Mikoboshi, if you set 50% of the people to vote on a subject, and you've got like distributed over 1,000 holders, for example, like that's, you got to make sure that people are engaged, and so then we get into other things like delegation and compartmentalization of DAOs and stuff like that, which I'm really bullish on. So for like example, DAOs for doing tax accountants, for like, imagine like a tax DeFi DAO tax accountants who are all a trusted network. I started working on one last year, which was called Dive DAO, which was like accreditation for divers. So basically, the people who run the diving, I forget their name, I'm just a bit high, but whatever, they're basically skanking it. They're on bad mafia monopoly, basically. No one wants to use them, and it's like, we need to use these community systems, but you need an awareness of crypto and an awareness of what a DAO is, and then the right market. So it's like, at the moment, a Dive DAO is actually a pretty good project, but I think that the other good projects that this alludes to is bringing all these together. So in a way, as you mentioned, Mikoboshi is not to shill Mikoboshi, but it just is a group of cross-community people who are involved in art, and we can be like a all these people who want to be a DAO but haven't quite got enough, like that's, I allude back to what I said about the XCP tokens, is we want to be an enclosed community, an environment of all different mini communities, which together, we're all working under the same banner, we can be more efficient. There's also people like Crypto Rastas, who I'm a big supporter of and a fan of, things like NARS as well, which is another nouns thing. And so, yeah, if everyone comes together, the problem is that we all keep going off to start our own DAOs. Yeah, me too. Yeah, but it's like, as long as the DAOs are all connected, then we are actually plugging in. And what we're doing is actually by mistake, is we may be creating this amazing system of really complicated arbitrage, yeah, which will able to benefit all of the communities, and all these shitcoins that thought were done, yeah, can all will boom if we can get this all plugged in. But we need to first of all create a framework. Is the one place where we can all come together and our DAOs can be a DAO. But that first DAO, that point of trust, that node, has to be a trusted node. And I feel like Mikaboshi is the most trusted node that we have. And I can speak personally for that because I'm part of that. And I know the other people, I know the story. I was there many months ago, so I can see what's happened. And basically just, that's what I think.
Sweet as. Right, to touch on that, Arwyn, we're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes because we are a community that supports community, and there's an Alcatraz swim team space coming up at 11 o'clock. So you've got a couple of minutes to tune out and then 1 minute to tune back in and hear a few very similar voices. But from my point of view, what you were just saying, Arwyn, like I'm an accountant by trade. I'm an artist now by hobby, I guess, but curator or whatever, fucking, I don't know. Call yourself whatever you want nowadays. But as an accountant and a businessman in the past, I come into this DAO and I'm like, yo, this is cool because I see this becoming like a real job. And Redlion, very similar. Mikaboshi, very similar. Like these things, this is a broadcast from the Redlion Broadcasting Company, and Mikaboshi are broadcasting, and so are a bunch of other cool projects. So let's get across to Alcatraz Swim Team and support Viva La Vandal if we can. And if not, then thank you for coming and listening to us speak.
I'll be there. Thanks for having me. Thanks to Redlion, and I'd look forward to spending more time with Redlion crew. Appreciate you all for joining in, you crazy fuckers. I'll see you in the next chat in about 2 minutes. I need to piss.
Sweet. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Thank you.